Good evening, all of you. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the municipal website. OPMA authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings through the use of streaming services and other online meeting platforms. The Red Bank Council is meeting in person as well as providing an option for the public to participate via Zoom video meetings. Please note that the option to attend is being provided as a courtesy. Therefore, if Zoom becomes unavailable during the meeting and it cannot quickly be fixed, council will continue with the remainder of the meeting. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you're appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please, Mary Moss.
Member Bonatakis. Councilmember Facey Blackwood. Present. Councilmember Forrest.
Present.
Councilmember Janone.
Present.
Councilmember Euro. Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Here.
And Mayor Portman.
Here. Hey, before we move on, I have a question for you, Mary. Is there any way that we can reduce this second paragraph to like 2 sentences? All right, thank you. It kills me. It
Yes.
just kills me. It's like a tongue twister. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, now that we've got that important business out of the way, we do have an appointment. Caitlin Galgano is being appointed to the Animal Welfare Committee to an unexpired alternate number two-year term, expiring on 12/31/2027. I don't think we have to vote on that, do we? No. Just an appointment, right? Okay, public hearing notice. We have Mike Reiser here, our borough engineer, and he's going to give us a presentation. The purpose is the Borough of Red Bank seeking funding through the State of New Jersey Green Acres Park Development Program for the rehabilitation of Johnny Jazz Park, located at the intersection of Shrewsbury Avenue and Dr. James Parker Boulevard in the Borough of Red Bank. I guess you can go over the scope, Mike, and take it from there. Mike, you got a handhold there that you can use that microphone.
Check.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Mayor, Council, and members of the public for having me. As Mayor mentioned, I'm Michael Reiser with CME Associates, the Borough Engineer's Office, and I'm here to give a presentation on the Johnny Jazz Park improvements. It's a public hearing for the submission of the Green Acres Park Development application on behalf of the borough. The Green Acres program mission is to achieve a system of interconnected open spaces whose protection will preserve and enhance New Jersey's natural environment and its historic, scenic, and recreational resources for public use and enjoyment. The borough is specifically seeking funding to make improvements to Johnny Jazz Park, located at the northeast corner of Shrewsbury Avenue and Dr. James Parker Boulevard, and is specifically identified as Block 79, Lot 23. The site is roughly 7,800 square feet in size and contains a concrete walkway, benches, an electronic message board, flagpole, a water refill station, 2 northern red oak trees, 1 blue spruce tree, miscellaneous landscaping, and an art mural that is painted on the facade of the building to the north. The park is dedicated to the memory of Ralph Johnny Jazz Gatta Jr., a local butcher and lover of jazz music, and is utilized for several borough events, such as the Juneteenth celebration, West Side Jazz Concert Series, and the Red Bank tree lighting. The borough is seeking funding to improve the park for future events and further honor Johnny Jazz by expanding on the musical theme of the park. So with that, project improvements would include a permanent stage platform, which can be seen here on the concept plan. It's 18 feet by 32 feet wide, would provide plenty of space for shows. I know currently the borough sets up a temporary stage for these events. So this will be a more permanent, and then the park can host more events. Also included are continuous decorative benches, which are shown here on both the east and west sides for seating and viewing. There's a stone dust patio and decorative table games shown here on the west of the site with access off of Dr. Jane Parker Boulevard. These would be like decorative game tables. Think like chess, like you would see like on the streets of New York, Bryant Park specifically. Also included to go with the musical theme are outdoor musical instruments that are shown here through this winding stone dust pathway. Also included would be a Portland Blue restroom. It's a small, smart bathroom and would replace the need for porta potties for these events. Also included are some lighting improvements, electrical upgrades for future events and concerts, new landscape plantings. As you can see around the existing message board, we have some low-level plants here and just increasing the landscaping here around the park and really bring it together. We're also proposing a new art mural to be painted by a local artist along that north facade there behind the stage. We haven't finalized the design on that yet, but we'll work with the borough and a local artist to get that done. The park would have improved ADA accessibility, and we plan on keeping the existing electronic message board, the water refill station, and the 3 trees that I mentioned, the 2 northern red oaks, as well as the blue spruce that's known for the Christmas tree lightings. The project is eligible for a 25% matching grant, and our estimated total project cost is $686,000. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that council or the public may have.
Did you say there was a restroom there?
Yes, we're proposing a restroom in place of the porta potty. It would be a small, like one-person bathroom. It's kind of like a modern look. It's the one that we're looking at is called a Portland Loo.
Right.
And it's like a self-cleaning singular use bathroom, similar to a porta potty, but much more looks better than a porta potty and would smell better as well.
Okay.
And we have that shown here
Mike,
next.
also too, some of the elements of the Portland Loo is like an anti-vandal type setup. It actually allows for some baffles in there so that nobody can hide in there. It allows for better cleaning with the fixtures inside can really be hosed down and cleaned very easily.
Yep, that's correct. I believe it has like an open bottom, similar to how like bathroom stalls are, so that again nobody can hide in there and do graffiti, anything like that. Currently, we have that located next to the existing water refill station, but we have several plantings proposed around it to kind of shield it and make sure it's not unsightly during events.
The stage is going to be made of what?
This would be a concrete stage, just raised. We have it 18 inches high, and with like steps going up to the front, as well as an ADA access from Shrewsbury Avenue.
And there's a mural there, isn't there?
Yes.
So that would remain, correct?
We would be actually redoing that mural. We haven't just fully came up with a theme, but we're thinking of keeping the musical theme as well as tying it into the stage to complement the site.
Thank you for saving those trees.
Of course.
I think I like the idea very much of the restroom because there's a lot of action and things that go on, or all kinds of events. It's really a core park. It's not very big. Sometimes it's really packed at times.
Mhm.
Also, you might want to share that with the Parks and Rec Committee, I would say, because I don't recall us seeing that, or maybe Jim did send it to us and I didn't see it.
We had
I'm sure
just
that some of our members would love to, see and make comments on it. Maybe have some suggestions.
yeah, I'll discuss it with Oscar and see if they've looked at it and have any further comments.
Thank you.
Just one of the things about that, I know we were up against a timeline with the grant submission and the public hearing requirement. But because this is a conceptual plan, there's still opportunity for making any tweaks to the plan or taking other input as well, right?
Yes, that's correct. The application is due in 2 weeks, so we can make updates to the concept plan. And then if awarded, we could always consult with Green Acres about a minor scope change.
Fatima, about how long ago did we put out the public survey on this? Probably like
I-
a couple weeks ago, correct? Yeah, so the public survey went out as well too.
Yes, that's on the borough website on the Johnny Jazz Park page, and has some questions there. I know general feedback that we have gotten from that was that they wanted a lot more green space for these events. So that's why we kind of focused the seating areas in the corner, but facing the stage that way. And then, between people can set up chairs, just active recreation, but really just have open space in the middle instead of that one concrete walkway that just cut across the park.
And of course, important to note when we were coming up with the concept of this and taking into consideration some of those survey results, we had the committee that met on this included Oscar and Adriana as well from the department. So
Yes. Yep. That's correct.
I'd like to say that I really like the look of this concept plan. I think, you guys put a lot of effort into understanding the use that is at Johnny Jazz Park, just for people passing by as well as for events. I have a question about the cement stage. And if we have inclement weather such as snow and stuff, is there a way to make sure that people don't slip on it or?
Yeah, we would work with public utilities to ensure that everything's salted, to ensure anything, not slippery. I did just want to note the walkway in front of the stage, as well as the steps and the stage itself, would be concrete, but the pathways around here would be stone dust pathway that's
Yeah.
more pervious than concrete, but is considered an ADA accessible surface because it's compacted well.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions, comments?
Anyone else have anything for Mike? No? Anyone from the public? Anyone online, Jim? Joe, you there?
Yeah, hi there. I'm sorry I'm new to this, just sort of just realizing that this plan is going into effect, so I don't know how far along it is.
Joe, do me a favor, just state your name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Joe Muccioli. I'm in Red Bank at 77 Pinckney Road.
All right.
I also represent the Jazz Arts Project, a nonprofit organization, and we do concerts in this
Yes,
park.
you do. Yes, you do.
So
What?
I've had a dream about this for many years now, about this park and a specific thing, which is it's something called a cadenza outdoor piano, and there happens to be one in Belmar currently.
Didn't Bruce's piano player donate that 50 in Belmar?
Well, there was a big fundraising push for it. I think, there was some celebrity musician that helped with that.
But he wasn't a jazz musician, so it's fine.
No, he wasn't jazz, so I wouldn't know what that is.
Of course.
No, but it's a great thing for the community, and it seems to me this would be the ideal park to have something like this in. Maybe it's too late, I don't know, but I'd be willing to, spearhead, push for it.
It's not too late. This is the exact time to bring something like that up. That's what this is for. This is the right time.
I actually have information on it, and there's even a website.
I'm on the website right now. I'm checking it out.
Cadenza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I don't know if you can see, but right away, the mayor and the manager both pulled out their phones really fast and started looking it up right away.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah, they're
it's
teamed up
it's-
right now.
it's amazing how they can, how it can actually go through all weather. I mean, it takes snow and rain and sleet and hail, and the mail must get through, I guess.
Pretty cool. Yes. This is definitely the time to be talking about it. So, I guess yeah.
I mean, the town of, Count Basie, it's got to have a piano, right? So
You make a strong argument, Joe.
I would, volunteer to help with this effort and raise funds or do whatever we need to do, and maybe we can do something cool.
Joe, if you shoot me an email or even to, anybody on the council or borough manager, we'll get you in touch with Mike, who's the engineer doing this presentation. And
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Joe.
Just wanted to add, yeah, this is just a presentation for the application for the Green Acres grant. And then if awarded, this would go to a final design. But we have 2 weeks before the application, so I'll certainly look into that piano and see what the price is. We could add it up to our cost estimate, or if it's very expensive, consider donors. And yeah, we can find a spot for it for sure. I mean, we already have some outdoor musical elements that we haven't discussed the exact pieces of equipment that would be out there, but I think the piano is a great idea and can definitely be added.
$3,000.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Looked like $3,000. Terrible poker face, Greg. Does anyone else have anyone else have anyone else have any questions about the park presentation? No? All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for being here. Always a pleasure. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a great night, everybody.
I need to go back. As Mary Moss pointed out to me, we do need to have a vote for Caitlin Galgano. It's a council appointment and not a mayoral appointment. So can I have a motion
You make such a motion, Mr. Mayor.
to approve Caitlin Galgano? Can I have a second?
Just make a few comments about her before
Sure.
we go. So, she's been at a couple animal welfare committee meetings before. She filled out the application. She is really great. She loves animals and real worker. So we're excited to have her on there.
All right. You make a strong argument, Laura. Can I have a second for that motion? All in favor? There we go. Taking care of business. Next up, can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment on agenda items only? Can I have a second? All in favor? Anyone have any questions or comments for agenda items? Anyone online, Jim? Is everyone going to see you do that every time? You gotta, yeah. Right. Nobody on? All right. Can I have a motion to close the floor for public comment on agenda items only? Can I have a second? All in favor? Can I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from January 22nd, 2026? Can I have a second? All in favor? And can I have a motion to approve the executive session meeting minutes from January 22nd, 2026?
So moved.
Can I have a second? All in favor? Next up, we have a final reading and a public hearing for ordinance 2026-3, entitled "An Ordinance to Exceed the Calendar Year 2026 Municipal Budget Appropriation Limits and to Establish a Cap Bank under NJSA 40A:4-45.14." This ordinance was introduced on January 22nd, 2026. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only? Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any questions or comments on this ordinance from the public? Anyone online, Jim? All right. Oh, yes. Now you got to go through the whole, but it's all right. All the mics work now, Joan. Yeah. It might be on. Oh. It's on the microphone itself. There should be. There we go. Yeah.
Green Light. Joan Wetherell, 106 Manor Drive in Red Bank. I'm not sure if this is really unanswerable question, but I have no idea what this is talking about. That's all.
Oh, for this ordinance?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I may have missed discussions. that
no,
were
no, no,
previously.
no, it's a,
Okay.
I mean, last week we probably, I mean, 2 weeks ago, we probably went over it, but Jim, you want to give a quick?
Yeah, I'll give the quick on this. Yeah, no problem. This is exceeding the 2% cap of in municipalities. It allows by ordinance, and it's a standard financial mechanism in many New Jersey municipalities to basically bank anything above the 2% cap ordinance. So this up to 3.5. So what we're doing tonight is going up to 3.5% instead of the 2% cap that's allowable under New Jersey statute. So it has to be done by an ordinance. It's something we do every year. It's so that we can reserve appropriations that are unspent for any sort of issues or things that we come up financially in the future.
Please. Also, I just wanted to add to it too. It's not the 2% levy cap. So the more famous cap is the 2% levy cap that came into effect in 2011. This is actually, I believe it's 75 or 1977. This is an appropriations cap. So there's a levy cap that's more famous and been more recently discussed in recent history that has to do with the amount to be raised by taxation. That's a 2% relatively hard cap that has some exceptions for employment costs and capital costs. But this is the appropriations cap. This is actually a very old law, dates back almost 50 years. And the municipality, if you pass an ordinance at the beginning of the year, then the appropriations cap can be lifted to 3.5% during budget time. And any part of that you don't use, then you can bank for future years if you need a little bit of an extra cushion. If you don't pass this ordinance at the beginning of the year, then you're limited to 2% and you can't bank any of the difference. So this will come up again at budget time. When the budget caps are presented, there's two worksheets in the user-friendly budget that go through this cap and the levy cap, which is which frankly is a better control on property taxes, to be honest with you, than this appropriations cap. That's a bit older, but this is still a mechanism that almost every municipality does at the beginning of the year to reserve the right to be able to save the extra 1.5% if it's not used, or use it if it's needed as they total the budget up in the coming months. But I wanted to make the point that it's appropriation cap. It's not the levy cap that everyone typically talks about at budget time.
Anyone else have any questions or comments on this ordinance? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2026-03? Can I have a second? All in favor? Can I have a motion to approve on final reading ordinance 2026-03?
I'll make a motion.
All right, roll call, please, Mary.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest, Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up is on introduction, ordinance 2026-04, entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank to repeal and replace Chapter 205 Affordable Housing of the Borough Code to be consistent with state requirements of the amended Fair Housing Act and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls. You know, Jim, why don't you give a quick summation on this one too, or Greg, or? Good.
So this ordinance has to do with our affordable housing controls in town. At present, most municipalities in the state are going through the fourth round affordable housing obligations, which is a court-administered process again, like it was in 2015. Thank you. Thanks. That's good because I know what it generally does, but I didn't know the specific changes. So that's actually perfect. So in general, the rubric here is that the borough has the obligation to provide affordable housing. We do that through overlay zoning, where developers can typically build increased density if they build affordable housing. That's essentially the way it's handled throughout the state. and various mechanisms. There's also residential development fees, as I'm sure some of you have heard in the past, that we've passed here or changed or updated over the years. And those funds go into a special affordable housing trust fund, which the borough must also pass a spending plan, must announce to the state and tell the public how that money is going to be spent. That is done as part of the compliance process every 10 years. We're currently in the middle of that process. We have until March 15th to get all of the overlay zones, the spending plan, and all of the rubric for the next 10 years in place. And that is being done in an adversarial process with Fair Share Housing and the special master at the court, who has put together, together with our planner, put together this package that essentially sets the affordable housing mandates for the next 10 years in town. As many of you are aware from who come to the meetings, a number of projects have helped the borough out, like bringing Locust Landing out of a regional contribution agreement and bringing those housing credits back into Red Bank. That was one of the most major initiatives that we've done in the last couple of years to assist in our affordable housing obligations. They're going through the list that the planner provided us of the specific changes to the ordinance to comply with the up-to-date affordable housing regulations for the fourth round, as it's called. There's some minor definitional changes, their clarifications. The references to the now dissolved Council on Affordable Housing have all been removed from the borough's ordinance to update to the current court-administered process. References to the specific uniform housing affordability controls, which are the qualifications and the different levels and how the affordable housing and the actual parameters have to be built. That has obviously been changed and updated by the state in accordance with the new law and provided out by the Department of Community Affairs. The length of time that deed restrictions in this round, meaning that the length of time that a unit designated in this round must remain an affordable unit, has increased from 30 years to 40 years for certain rental units, or for rental units, but 30 years remains at 30 years for for sale units, meaning that rental units must be maintained as affordable housing longer in this round. The requirements for affirmative marking, this is where we go out and recruit. I know that the borough here has a heavy emphasis on finding current residents in town to bring to affordable housing still within the town to keep the community together. Those requirements for affordable marking have been updated to reflect that marketing can now include digital outreach. Remember, we only do this every 10 years. So some of the, this is really updating to modernize it as well, in addition to just the regulations. It also includes online ads instead of just television, newspaper, and the traditional media. The requirements for the income and bedroom distribution permit now a rounding of obligations, meaning that the former decimal places of units that were left hanging have now been removed. So that was a relatively minor change. The targeted income levels for inclusionary housing have been revised to reflect current modern value of money, as well as the new state standards that provide for a greater mix of incomes within developments rather than the prior classifications that kind of grouped really lower and low moderate together. At this point in this round, certain market rating units are also allowed to defer from affordable units. Generally, they're still required to be substantially similar, but high-end units have been excluded. So, for example, a developer is allowed to keep the penthouse to make the extra premium on that particular area in the building. The idea being that that can also help subsidize the affordable housing that's in the building. Previously, everything. So, if you had one market rate penthouse, you typically had to match that with affordable rate penthouse. The regulations have kind of realized that that's not really the best way to develop multiple units of affordable housing. No one's looking, typically when they come to us for affordable housing, for a penthouse is not part of their typically requirements and things that they find to be important. So the state has recognized that as well. Overall, as you guys know, and you sit here, the borough has accomplished a number of affordable housing, including from the VNA to Locust Landing, and things that have helped to meet your obligations for this round. So that's the total. If I missed anything, Shauna, please jump up and. I did good. Thank you. All right. I got the seal of approval from the Planning and Community Development Department, so I must have done a good job today. And so that's everything. If anybody has any questions, obviously this is the public. I'm sorry, this is not the public hearing. This is the introduction. There'll be a public hearing in a couple of weeks, but we can also talk about it whenever you want. Yes, the standards under which this is developed are mandated by the state, correct, under the new affordable housing reform law that was passed at late 2024.
I mean, there's a lot in that. I mean, I was trying to pour through it today and yesterday. I mean, is there stuff for families? I think I heard you mention something like that, like multiple bedroom places for kids and.
Yes. Yeah, so the mixture of, and look, I'm not the planner, so I'm not an expert in the specific breakdowns, but affordable units are functionally broken down by the qualifications to occupy them, which is essentially your income level, and the number of persons in your family, and the size of the units. So they're more or less classified by income levels, moderate, low income, and the size of the units, and the mixture of bedrooms in the affordable units. It requires multiple bedrooms, up to 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
So there are units that are family usable, for lack of a better term, family of 4 for sure. That's specifically included in the
Okay.
in
And,
the
and
regulations.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a comment on this when we vote on it.
Well,
Was
make a
this an
comment when?
ordinance thing?
Right now, we're just, we're going to have public comment in 2 weeks, but right now we're just voting to make a motion on introduction. Approve on
Well, I'd
introduction.
like to make a comment on the motion on introduction then.
Oh, sure,
Can I just do that now?
sure.
All right. So I've said this a couple of times here, but a very high priority to me, maybe in some ways my highest priority really as a councilman, is to try to keep Red Bank a diverse community in terms of housing. I like that we have housing for the poor, and we have some of the nicest and most incredible residences on the river as well. I know that it's a lot to ask, for high density development, and a lot of people don't like it. I hear about it frequently, but I also have had the honor and awakening, really, of people coming to office hours who are homeless or can't find a place to live, family members in my own family, people in all over Red Bank of all ages and situations, elderly, young, who can't find a place to live in our town, many of whom have families that have been here for generations. And so I think we're really in a national housing emergency. In Red Bank, we're a small part of that, and we're not going to fix everything here. But I'm very proud that this municipality is taking this issue seriously because our children need to live somewhere. We need to live somewhere. $2,200 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. Not everybody's going to be able to afford that. We need to find places for people to live. And I think it also affects the politics, and we're desperately trying to stay in a house and not being able to afford a lot of other things. I am proud that my family provides affordable housing to someone. And I just wanted to, comment that this is an ongoing priority of this borough and this council and the mayor and our staff. And I am grateful. And I know it's difficult. I've been yelled at by residents who want us to have this idea that we can just build single family homes and everything the way it was 40 years ago. Literally say that to me. And if you look at how much it costs to build a single family house in Red Bank, I mean, I think you'd sell it for what, $1.2 million? I think that's what they're going for on the west side, something like that. I mean, that's absurd. That's not affordable. And I know some of my colleagues don't like it when I say this term, but I really don't want to become a ghetto of the rich. I love my rich friends, and I wish I was a rich friend. But we need to be a diverse community, and we need to fight for it. It's not just going to happen based on market forces. If we just rely on market forces, this is going to be a very expensive town with no affordable housing in it. So that's my comment.
Thank you, Ben. Can I have a motion to approve? Does anyone else have any comments? No? Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2026-04 on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Anyone need to pull out one of these rezos and vote on it separately, or can we just do it all on the consent agenda? Give you another minute to glance at them.
Mayor, I'm okay with consent agenda.
Okay.
I'm okay too.
Then can I have a motion to approve Resolution 26-38 through 26-47 under the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Couple things for discussion and action for mayor and council. Coming up, we have the Red Bank Pizza Fest on Saturday, April 25th, 2026, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's amazing. Red Bank Food and Wine Walk on August 15th, 2026, from 1 to 5. The Red Bank Mac and Cheese Festival, Saturday, September 26th, 1 to 5. Wait, there's more. The JBJ Soul Foundation Day of Hope Walk on Tuesday, May 13th, from 11 to 1. Dog Days at Riverside Gardens Park is Saturday, September 19th, from 12 to 4, with a rain date of tentatively of September 26th. And for under Parks and Rec, we can approve the Spring Egg Hunt at Count Basie Park on March 22nd with a rain date of the 29th. That's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Also, Pride in the Park, Saturday, June 6th, with a rain date of June 7th, Sunday. And Hispanic Heritage, Sunday, September 13th, 2026, with a rain date of September 20th.
Mayor, could I make a comment about dog days?
Sure.
So we had a meeting Tuesday night and I think Paul met with Jim, right? And we might be having it in Marine Park.
Yeah, special event.
Okay, yeah, so that would be exciting to have it back there again because we didn't have it during construction time and then the green space down by the river. So that might be tentative that we're going to move back to Marine Park.
All right. Love it. Can I have a motion to open the floor for public questions and comments?
Make such a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any questions on anything on your mind? Anyone online, Jim? Oh, you got a question, Scott? Comment, that works too. Push.
Ice boating's here, so,
Just name and
oh,
address.
sorry, Scott Wingarter, Riverside Avenue, Red Bank. And it was just frustrating in that first there was no wind, then there's too much wind. But they got out there Monday, had the big races, for sure you read about. But looks like the weather, who knows what. But if you, Mary, you were there, I think 2 years ago for our open house. If you haven't seen the club, come on in. You know, it's something, right?
It is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oldest ice boat club in the world. First man-made vehicle to go 100 miles an hour. So come on out. Hopefully we'll get wind. Hopefully it'll stay cold. I've got a B-class boat, big red B1 on the sale. So come out and get a ride. Done. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Scott, I have a quick question. How much longer with the temperatures just above 32 do you think that this is feasible, possible?
Hard to say.
Asking for a friend.
What's going to happen? I mean, the ice is 8 to maybe 12. So you get during the day, if there's sun out, it melts the ice on top. So you get slushy. But night it freezes. Who knows? I mean, the smaller boats can go 4 inches. No, the big ones, 8 boats plus, you need 8 to 12. Who knows? But there's something to see. And I say, people there are nice. Come in. Would be a guy at the gate. Mention your council, this and that. Mention my name, and again, come on in. And say, take a look. Downstairs is the workshop. Upstairs is kind of museum, pictures, trophies, and all that.
And can members of the public welcome as well? Or are you just extending that invitation to the council?
To you, because then
All
I'm in
right.
trouble.
All right, just being clear.
It's special.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Yes.
There we go. Joan Weatherell, 106 Manor Drive. I have a question. I was looking for shredding events around the county. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. And so I found the shredding events for the county for 2026. And there's a whole laundry list here, but Red Bank is not on there. And I wondered, it says the participating municipalities were listed. I won't read them, but there's, about a dozen, 12, 14, 15. And I wondered why Red Bank wasn't having one. And I have a copy of this here, and I can give it to Madam Clerk if you would like.
Sure, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, we participated last year. I believe they try and rotate around the county.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
So we did have an event last year.
Elected not to do it this year because.
They have to switch resources because there's 54 municipalities.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That explains it then. Okay, thank you. Okay. Then you probably.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else have any questions or comments? You already said no one online, Jim. All right, can I have a motion to close the public comment? Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Christina, what do you got for me? For us, for all of us.
I'm just gonna take my moment this evening to say what I'm thankful for. Number one, to Jim and anyone who is involved in remotely any way for these. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I enjoyed this last night at the planning board meeting and again tonight. I'm sure our public and future public will also enjoy it as much as we all are. So thank you. This was long overdue. Not only the mics, but also these beautiful screens. I'm hoping you're seeing everything in high definition at home. And second thing I'm thankful for, actually, Scott, you just mentioned, is our ice boaters. This has been such a beautiful silver lining for the terrible cold that we have had. It's really nice. It's made me smile. It's warmed my heart. And thank you for the beautiful coverage in Red Bank Green, another small outfit, the New York Times. It's been really happy. I'm really happy thinking about folks out there on the river. So thank you. Don't tempt me. I'll be there.
Ben?
Nothing really specific tonight. I will say ice boats are very exciting, but it's been offensively cold. So I'm ready for spring. A lot of good businesses in town that have recently come in. Looking forward to the nice weather. And I think it's going to be the best season of Broadwalk yet. So I'm really excited for some sun. And then I also want to shout out the additional traffic we've seen at the West Side businesses the past couple weeks. Everything going on in the world, obviously, but West Side, best side. So take it. Keep coming.
All right, Nance?
I have quite a bit, but I'll be quick. First and foremost, I do want to thank Long Live Local News, Red Bank Green, for their coverage about the ice boating, in addition to their regular coverage as well. But that was fantastic. I was particularly moved by the finding of the gentleman on the bicycle and him towing his dad. That was very heartwarming, and thank you for that, Brian. Moving on to Borough business. The EC Green team hosted the Sustainable Jersey Monmouth Hub meeting on Monday at the Red Bank Senior Center. Thank you, Shauna, for providing the space for the event. It involved Clean Water Actions, Marta Young presenting the state law regarding Skip the Stuff, which goes even beyond more what we have in our Red Bank ordinance. EC member Dave Johnson presented vape disposal hazards and best practices. And we learned at the meeting that dogs do pick up these vape containers because they smell good and they try to chew them. So that's, that is potentially a problem. There's a lot of interest in from Tobacco-Free New Jersey, Sustainable Jersey, and other organizations, and they're working with legislatures to help to put together a bill. EC Chair Danelle Johnson presented sustainable lawn care best practices, and the presentation will run again on the 24th of March at the Red Bank Public Library. There was discussion about the health impacts of artificial turf and the benefits of natural turf. I don't know at this time if the farmers have created a turf that will be just as resilient as the artificial turf, but I know that people are talking to farmers and saying, hey, what can you do? There was, the EC also spearheaded an initiative to apply for a grant to help pay for storm drain retrofits. And not little, last but least, but the annual Green Fair is going to be on the 22nd of April at the Red Bank Middle School. Shade Tree's been busy too. They're launching the Red Bank Big Tree Project. They're not just looking for big trees, but also trees that have a story behind it. And if you have a big tree, know of a big tree, and know a big tree with a story, reach out to the Shade Tree Committee at stc@redbankandj.org. The Completing Green Streets Committee, they have launched the Red Bank Bicycle Safety and Infrastructure Survey. It's out. We're very interested in your thoughts on how to improve safe bicycle transit throughout the town. We have to remember that bicycling is good for the environment, helps fight climate change by reducing emissions, and boosts the economy by lowering transportation costs and supporting local businesses. When you're on a bike, you see a lot more than if you're driving by. And Mayor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Ben?
Couple of things from Park and Rec. We have adult evening classes at Senior Center have been postponed to March. To sign up, call the office 732-530-2782 or email the Recreation Department. Let's see, father and daughter dance Friday, February 20th at 6 p.m. at Red Bank Senior Center. A few spots are left. Contact the Recreation Department for that. 3, we have a spring break family field trip to Liberty Science Center and the Bronx Zoo. The details will be posted on our website soon. On my capacity as liaison to the schools, I appreciated the phone call from the Red Bank Regional Board President. Actually, it was a text the other day, and apparently they're having freezing pipe problems over at the campus in Little Silver, even though it's Red Bank Regional. So I know it's a handful over there, and I'm sure you'll let the borough know if there's anything we can do to help. And that concludes, except that I noticed, our logo is the ice boat. And I think when we interviewed our manager, Mr. Gant, we forgot to tell him that he was going to run the town as the capital of ice boating of the world. I don't remember discussing that with you, Mr. Gant. I hope you don't mind the surprise.
Like everything else, I learned trial by fire, Ben.
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Laura?
I'll start with Mayor's Wellness because I sometimes forget to talk about that. And we have a lot of things coming up. We actually had a great talk this Wednesday at our leadership meeting with the Katie Bush, I'll probably mispronounce her name, Bishaw. She's the program officer at the New Jersey Health Care Quality Institute. Fatima's not here, but I'm going to give a shout out to her. She did this great thing about everything the Mayor's Wellness did last year. You probably saw it, like a timeline of all the things that we had. And she's really reaching out because Red Bank does include people from Latino populations and a lot of things that we do. And they're trying to look at ways to get more people to come out. We've had several events where I think people are afraid to come out. So she was kind of picking our brain, and hopefully we'll get that $1,000 grant from her. She also talked about was that enough money for the grants, and just little things like snacks and water, like when the Mexican consulate's in town and things like that. It is important that we get these small grants. So it was a really good discussion that we had about that. We are going to have a few activities coming up. We have something planned every month. We have a doctor coming in march talking about women's health at the senior center, heart health. Then we have Patty White is coming in May to talk about women's health. You might know her from the community. She's a nurse midwife, also speaks Spanish and English. So we would like to have her talk about women's health. We have quite a few things coming up. And the consulate will be at the senior center on the 21st. I'll be there taking blood pressures with the Parker Clinic. So that was some of the things we talked about there. So that I'll get off mayor's wellness now, and I'm going to the animal welfare. So we're going to have a vaccine clinic again on May 2nd. We had one in the winter at the primary school, and that worked out really well. But we want to have one on the east side when it gets warmer, May 2nd. At the first aid and rescue squad, and Frank Woods got back to us that that's been approved. So we're going to have free vaccines for dogs and cats there for the rabies. And I think we talked about dog days. Also the opening of the river, Broadwalk, we're going to have, like we had last year, animals from Louis Legacy. The chickens will be back. So that was kind of a big thing last year. It brought a lot of people to the opening of Broadwalk. So that'll be fun. We're also, just today, we were on a group email. You might have heard there was a big fire at the SPCA up in Andover, New Jersey. So all those dogs were displaced. So we're going to be trying to help them out a little bit too. So we try to reach out to some of the SPCAs like in Newark and stuff that are really struggling, just our community. Library, we had I think it was our first library capital committee meeting, right, Jim? That was on February 3rd. Huh? Yeah, so I'll let Jim go into all the details of that, but we're going to follow up in May with some of the things that we talked about at that meeting. And I think that was really great, having the engineers there, having Jim there, having the members of the library board there, just to go over some of the things that are going on with the building and all different things at the library. We got to watch some ice boats while we were there too, when the meeting was over. So that was good. Tonight they have, the same time as now, they have that librarian PBS movie, which you can find on PBS too. It's about having books that talk about LGBTQ and other things that are being taken off shelves, and how librarians are working to fight for that. So that's really important stuff. Plus the regular activities that go on in the library all the time. I was in there the other day, they were having children make forts out of boxes in the basement. I just did some great stuff over there. And so I did library, I did animal, and I did mayor's wellness. I think I'm done. Thank you.
Laura, you are amazing, I have to say, and thank you for the shots, by the way.
Okay.
Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. I agree. Everybody up here this is an anomaly to have public servants like this all on one council. It's wonderful. I want to echo what Councilman Euro said about residents supporting our West Side businesses more. It has been felt. I have received messages from multiple business owners. I spoke with Arlette from Linares Grocery just today, and she expresses her gratitude for the increase in foot traffic, which is really helping at a time when there's decreased foot traffic at those businesses because of a fear of ICE activity. In addition to that, I just wanted to state that Linares Grocery, Mi Lupitas, and La Orquídea all now have donation boxes, which is something that other people on the council also work on often, for Vin Gopal's Civic Association Food Pantry, which is located on Shrewsbury Avenue. What's great about this is you can visit Linares, you can visit, one of these locations. Oh, actually, also La Juquila Deli and Grocery has a Vin Gopal food pantry box now as well. So you can visit there, you can patronize the business, and then you can put what you purchase directly into a donation box to help the community. So it's really a win-win because that is one of the most frequented and used pantries by the community on the West Side. So it's really great to have that connectivity being strengthened in real time. Thank you to everybody who attended the sweet stroll. I know Marin caught myself and Councilman Europe on that. And it's amazing how many people will come out in the frigid cold for, any event in Red Bank, because they know it's going to be a fun time here. we had the first meeting of a Broadwalk programming committee. This is new this year. It's kind of similar to the first year we had Broadwalk in that it's more collaborative between the borough and River Center. Myself, Councilman Ben Euro as the liaison to the River Center, and the mayor are elected representatives involved. And then there's business owners who expressed interest in being involved in that, as well as representatives of River Center, with the goal being, and also, of course, obviously our community engagement coordinator and Adriana, the head of our recreation and human services, also being involved, with just the goal of having more holistic programming and really getting together just a full calendar and making it just be the year where it fully comes to its full potential. So I'm really excited to have a full programming committee together for Broadwalk this year. I had the honor to speak at the SEAL program, which is the youth program for clean ocean action. It's a wonderful program where each student essentially works on kind of like a thesis project or an Eagle Scout project. Each student focuses on a project in their town, whether it's installing a rain garden or passing a local ordinance. There's usually around 30 students involved, and it's actually run by Kristen, who serves on our community engagement and equity committee here in Red Bank. She's a phenomenal organizer, but it's just wonderful to see the impact of young people in each of them in each of their respective municipalities. And it's a program that I love getting involved in. So if you know any young people in high school that are looking for a unique way to volunteer or like a unique way to become an environmentalist or learn how they can make an impact, I would say that the SEAL program is a wonderful way to get involved. I also had the opportunity to go and speak with the residents at the atrium. They reached out to myself in my capacity as an advisory board member for American Friends Service Committee. And so myself and Julie Flores Castillo attended the atrium as they had concerns about ICE activity in Red Bank. So we went and we presented to them about resources, ways to help. It was well attended. There were over 55 residents in attendance at the atrium. And I just want to thank them for being involved and active community members and for, caring about the whole of Red Bank. As Councilwoman Laura Janone stated, there will be a power of attorney clinic, a Spanish power of attorney clinic, as well as a visit from the Mexican consulate providing resources on February 21st. And then on February 14th, there's a FAFSA form, which if anybody's ever had to do a FAFSA, you just know what an absolute nightmare filling out a FAFSA is for college. So there's a FAFSA and college info session happening in partnership with Brookdale Community College on February 14th. Again, thank you so much to our community engagement coordinator and our head of recreation and human services, Adriana, for all of their work on all of that programming. And that's my full report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I just add one thing I forgot?
Sure.
So I went to the ribbon cutting at Riverview. They have a new oncology unit, which is an inpatient oncology unit. So patients that get out infusion still do outpatient, but they also have a really beautiful inpatient unit that they built. It's right on the river. So for people that need to stay in for infusion and some cancer treatments, it's a beautiful unit and decorated like with ice boats and sailboats and overlooking the river. So it's really nicely done. They had moved behavioral health out of there to another one of their facilities and then redid this whole area. It's really, if you get a chance, stop in and see it. The ribbon cutting was very nice. And they had a lot of people from the community. They're very hooked up with Sloan Kettering now. So they're going to be like a spinoff of Sloan Kettering, which was quite impressive. They had all the oncologists and people there talking.
Thank you for representing us.
I saw that they showed it this past weekend. I went to the library for the librarians, and it's a powerful film. It's pulling not just LGBTQ, but books about race, and it's been going on. I mean, they shot it for a few years, the movie. So, yeah. Anyway, so it was great event at the library, and I just have to add this funny story in. So, my son, who's at college, just started doing work study and got his first job at the school library. So my wife went yesterday to the library to get a book and bumped into Miss Sierra, who told her that my son Easy had texted her to tell her that he was working at the library. And I'm thinking, what kind of kid has his child librarian's cell phone number? But the whole story, yeah, that cracked me up. Anyway, it was a nice story. Just a reminder of how much arts and entertainment is happening in town. I mean, obviously, the Basie has something almost every night. Um, Two River Theater on February 27th has their premiere of A Doll's House. Their season's kicking off this year, so I'm planning on checking that out. And T. Thomas Fortune's having an open house February 21st, so I'm looking forward to checking that out also. That's all I got. Jim?
I'm up. Yes, aside from the greatness of everything that the ice.
Hold on, yeah, I gotta add in also the we finally, like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. The microphones work. We have screens. Yeah, thank you. That's
The
excellent.
little things, the little things. Uh, but I want to say, aside from the greatness of the ice boating on the Navistink, I think what's been really cool about the whole thing, but also a challenge for the borough, is the like third community space that it creates. Hundreds of people out on the ice, which means that they needed access to the ice. So with Marine Park being under construction, that obviously created a new layer of logistics for us. So I was happy that we were able to meet with myself, our risk managers of the borough, our joint insurance fund, the police chief, myself, DPU, to come up with a plan to, off the Marine Park parking lot, create at least a walkway access for people to either view or go out onto the unmonitored and unguarded ice. Those are key words as well for us. So, and I really want to say I appreciate Brian Donahue covering that for us, because it's important to get that word out that it is a safety concern. And at the same time, we are allowing the access to it, but a lot of people were actually traversing through the construction site and taking down the orange fencing that was put up, which was creating a whole nother layer of safety issues for us. But we got through it, and it got better. It did. We made some improvements, and it got better. Of note on today's council agenda meeting was the solid waste bid that was awarded today to Delissa again for an additional competitive contract. So we will go into contract with Delissa to continue solid waste hauling services throughout the borough. That was a competitive contract that was done through a consultant of ours and all publicly bid. Unfortunately, nowadays, and something that's experienced by municipalities all over New Jersey, these bids generally only get one bidder. And, it's an issue in the industry. However, it's a service that has to be provided as a matter of public health and safety. Yes, our AV improvements, we're still working out some of the kinks. We're learning the system. But I think tonight kind of went very easily, fairly well, and knock on wood that we get to the adjournment of this meeting. But yeah, we have some additional equipment to help us. We have lapel mics for presenters. We have the handheld mics as well, and obviously the TV displays. I have a couple of notes to go back to the company with for questions and how to make continued improvements. You would have seen Public Works throughout the town still, and they're still clearing areas of snow and ice. It's still a challenge. We're still trying to open up roadways even more. Towns across New Jersey are still doing this, and especially our urban center towns and those that have downtowns are dealing with this as well. Those guys have been out all day, every day, clearing hydrants and sidewalks and crosswalks. And now a new layer of things as we have the melt, is we're seeing all the litter, the big puddle, the storm drains, the litter. They were out on Mama Street, Broad Street, and Shrewsbury Ave today cleaning up litter. So they've done a tremendous job and have been working from the time they get in to the time they leave, which is just fantastic that they're in concert there. We had the second meeting of our CWA union negotiations today, so that's going very well. And we hope in the next meeting or two to have an agreement with our CWA union to solidify a new contract for them. I want to thank outgoing Fire Chief Frank Woods for the invite to the Red Bank Fire Department Awards Dinner this past weekend. I saw a number of you there as well. And, obviously share my appreciation for their recognition of me at that dinner. It's definitely been yeah, it was very nice. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know it was on the docket, but it was nice that they were able to it was nice that they gave me an award that night. It was great. And we have a ton of grant work in the works right now. There's a number of different applications that the borough's going for. Of note, I think is one that we haven't done in the past, and something that Adriana is working with Jackie Reynolds at the Senior Center for $250,000 to increase senior programming over there. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they are successful in that grant, and I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you. Ben, sir. Oh, the button down below. Yep.
You know, I usually have questions for you, Mr. Manager.
Usually you tell me you like my report and I'm allowed to go. So
So going to, actually, I had some feedback from the neighborhood about ticket fees and not moving cars in the storm. Is that something we need to revisit in the future? And was it $38 for if you don't move your car? What is it?
yeah,
I mean, some guy just said, well, it's just cheaper for me to keep the car here.
that's a challenge, right? That's something that I actually heard this past storm as well. They issued the most amount of tickets that
Look at
we
my face.
right. It's interesting.
A truck. No, he said, $38. It's still.
No, he says, why should I move my car? It's only
All right, I have a
$30.
parking on Pazzo. It's going to cost me $100 for the weekend.
And I've gotten a lot of feedback from people saying that during snowstorms, we should have a different schedule of ticketing to increase the fine, to encourage people to move their vehicle. You see the challenge it creates for us. It's
And then they get
painful
frozen in.
enough. And then they get frozen in, especially when we have a snow of this significance. We really do need them to go out of their way to come up with a plan for themselves. I know it's difficult. I know it's not, ideal for anybody, but here we are a couple weeks later now, and we're still trying to clear areas of the roadways. So it is something
My number one complaint I get.
yeah, I'm sure. And it's something that we can discuss in the future. I will say our police department, our parking guys, issued the most amount of parking tickets than any storm that we've had in recent years. So they hit the ground and they tried to make it known that this is unacceptable.
Another question for you, Mr. Manager. All right, so trash. Okay, so we only had the one bidder. Now I was around as a resident when we switched to privatization. It used to be that our public works had a couple of trash trucks, the Red Bank Clean Team or whatever it was. Is this something we should look at possibly to keep our options open in the future? Is reintroducing? I don't want to do this now, but should we plan for the possibility that I'm uncomfortable really with one bidder. Maybe that's what they do in a lot of towns, but I don't. Is that I'd like to maybe keep that door open, find out what it would really cost. Maybe at some point, if prices keep going up from these private haulers, that we look at reintroducing, doing it ourselves if we need to. I'd rather not. It'd be nice that somebody else is doing it, and it sounded like it saved us money initially. But I'd like to take a look and see, does it still make sense to do it privately? Because if there's no competition, how long is this contract for? I don't remember you saying how long.
And this is 5 years. So it's really the number of bidders really has to do with the market at the moment. There's a significant amount of risk in taking on these contracts, particularly for the length of time that the towns want to lock in the prices, due to energy costs and a lot of things that have to do with the solid waste and recyclable market that are large. So there was a moment in history when energy prices were high and recyclable the amount of money you could get for recyclables was high, when it wouldn't be uncommon to get 6 or 7 bidders on every contract. The amount of bidders doesn't have to do with really the number of companies or people competing in the area. It's that the same bidder tends to bid in the town that they're in because they know it the best than anyone else. And they have a built-in advantage in the system when the market is bad and risky for the haulers. So that's what we're seeing at this moment in history. If the economic conditions change, then or regulatory conditions change back to what they were maybe 10 or 15 years ago, then we will probably the market undoubtedly will go back to that at some point, and there'll be multiple bidders. But that's the main reason why the incumbent bidder is almost always at this moment in history, the last few years, particularly post-COVID, has been they have a built-in advantage because they know the town better than anyone else, and the risks that are inherent in the market at present, they just give an advantage to the incumbent. And that's something I've seen not just here; it's really been everywhere. But that hasn't always been the case. It really has to do with that has to do with the market in terms of lining the costs up. What the current market is for private haulers versus public, that's a separate calculation. You guys will have to do policy-wise here, but. As a lawyer does looks at these in every town, you're not the only one that's gotten only one bidder. The market really has an advantage for the incumbent hauler at this moment in history.
No, I pretty much had an idea that was a good answer, but the whole idea of privatization, one of the ideas anyway, I remember when it was being debated up here by a previous mayor and council, was having those choices and having competition and lowering, and now we don't have the competition part. And I just want to go eyes wide open in the future and not necessarily rule anything out. I don't want, some hauler who's the only one, bilking us. Anyway, that's it. I think I made my point, but I'd like our manager maybe when the next cycle of this happens, that maybe we plan in advance and not rule anything out and see what it would be like. I think we used to have 2 garbage trucks that were borough run that ran, and I lived here a long time, and they provided very satisfactory service. So, and it was, fair amount of drama when we decided not to do it. So anyway, that's all.
Certainly, and not knowing the history, of course, it's kind of the same discussion in many towns that privatize that service. And I think what led those municipalities to privatize were the escalating costs that were associated with hauling, which is what we're seeing even in the bid results. I think, kind of back of the napkin analysis of this, Red Bank did very well in this bid cycle with, a 27% increase. But again, that's on a price from 5 years ago. So with the same things that we're experiencing in our budget as healthcare costs rise and the insurance costs rise, just general liability insurance. The other thing too that we have to consider as a municipality is the inherent risk that comes with that job, because the workers' compensation is outrageous when it comes to
Sure.
garbage
Mountain bike
pickup.
injuries.
So, I mean, just comparatively, and I provided this to the council as well. And I won't say the towns specifically just for their sake, but, solid waste collection contract, which was awarded in a town that we are compared to a lot, was 73% of an increase. Another Monmouth County town, quite close to us, experienced a 97% increase in their hauling contracts. And then another town out west that, again, we align with quite closely experienced a 40% increase. So I think that we did very well in this bid, and we know who the company is. Yeah, we did. We were holding our breath, kind of expecting these results. But again, I was quite happy with how they came out.
Thank you.
Do we have exec session today? No? All right, then can I have a motion to adjourn? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't have it. We're done. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah.